Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another video. Today's message is a message about your divine gift, that you have a special gift or gifts that have been given to you that are waiting to be used. And that when you choose to, one, identify what this gift or these gifts are, and you begin to go forward and share them with the world, that it's two things. One, it is the key to your financial freedom, to your financial abundance. It's also part of your life's purpose. You were given certain gifts that you've had since you were a child, even before that, before you even came into this universe, that are meant to be used for a very specific purpose. It can be hard to identify what these gifts are because when we're young, we're kind of brainwashed, albeit with good intentions, by our parents, our teachers, our atmosphere, our environment that we're in, etc., to be a certain way, shape, or form, to do certain things. I always called it the doctor-lawyer syndrome, right? If you want to be successful in this life, you've got to go to school and you either become a doctor or a lawyer or you're a complete failure. And these are like the hallmarks and the pinnacle of success in so many people's minds, or at least the old ideals and ways of which we used to think. But this is no longer the case, and it's never been the truth, as a matter of fact. True success comes from you fulfilling your purpose, and you fulfilling your purpose is tied to your gifts, because as you go forward and you share whatever these special endowments that you have are with the world, in whatever way, shape, or form you're meant to do it, you will have complete fulfillment. You'll have a true sense of purpose and know how you're supposed to contribute to others in the world, and in turn it will bestow great blessings upon your own life. So what are these gifts? How do we identify them? I have a couple of tools or indicators that may help you identify what these gifts are within yourself. The first one, you've probably had an interest in a certain area or certain things and have been naturally better at whatever these things are than most other people that you've been around or that you've experienced. You've also naturally just enjoyed whatever these gifts are. They've always just made you happy. You've done them no matter what, whether you were making money or not. Well, you certainly weren't making money, or maybe you were as a kid, but you just did them. So maybe as a kid, you really liked drawing. And sure, we all are allowed to express our creative outlets, and we're encouraged to do watercolors and drawing as children, coloring books, etc. But maybe you did them, but you always knew, one, that your drawings seemed to turn out a little bit better than other people. You picked them up quicker. You had an intelligence, a spatial awareness for how things should look, and you would doodle something just like every other person, but for whatever reason, it looked great. Maybe as a kid, you always absolutely loved animals. It didn't matter what animals. You went to the petting zoo, and not only, sure, dogs and cats always loved you, but horses loved you, pigs loved you, chickens, all these animals and insects gravitated towards you, and you actually had an interest. Maybe it has been agriculture, and you've had, you were in the garden with your mom or your dad, and you had a natural green thumb. You really liked having your hands in the dirt and planting and seeing things grow and taking care, and you had fond memories as a child of gardening, things like this. You have divine gifts, and they're tied to something along those lines. I'll share my own personal examples. As a child, I was always very physically active, played a ton of sports, organized sports, and it seemed that no matter what I did, whether it was playing hockey, roller hockey, ice hockey, roller skating, I grew up and we had a roller skating rink that was really popular, and honestly, I was known as a rink rat, right? My sister and I basically lived at the roller rink as like young kids, and there's a whole other story behind that. But I was always really, really good at roller skating. My dad started me out getting dance skate lessons on old school roller skates, doing like figure skating, but like on roller skates as like a child at like 8 or 9 years old. And I seemed to always pick that up really well. And then I played roller hockey. And it's funny, when I played roller hockey, everybody else was using roller blades, but I was using roller skates. I was like the only kid using roller skates playing roller hockey, but I was like the top scorer in this like small kids league. And all these parents and kids were like, what the hell is this kid's going around on roller skates, but he's like the high scorer, he's like the best player in the league. Then, I played football. It didn't really matter. Whatever physical thing I did, I tried wrestling and martial arts. I was always really, really good at sports naturally, even things like darts or like ping pong. So anything physical, I was always really good at. And so when I graduated college, I got into weightlifting. Well, I got into weightlifting right after high school. I did a little bit in football, but didn't take it seriously in high school. But after high school, I got really into weightlifting. I was always naturally really strong too. And I'm not like a big guy. I'm like 5'9". I weigh about 100. Right now, I weigh about 190 pounds, which is pretty thick, but I've always been really strong. So when I graduated college, I was waiting tables and I was also working at a marketing company. I had a job doing marketing, but I was trying to figure out, I'm unhappy doing these things. I don't like them. What's my purpose? What do I need to do? Because the 9-to-5 life isn't for me, and I always knew that as a young child. So I thought about it, and I sat on it for months, and it was driving me crazy. And then one day I was so frustrated, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just going to take my mind off of this. I'm just going to go and work out like I always do and take my mind off everything. Ding, light bulb clicked on. You know what I should be doing? I should be doing personal training. I should be in a physical fitness and teaching people how to use their bodies. And so this is one of my gifts. I have a uncanny ability to understand people's movement, biomechanics, where their strengths and weaknesses are based on how they're moving. And there's a whole nother layer of that too with energy and trauma and spiritual healing and things like this. But nonetheless, my point is one of my gifts was physical fitness, and it took me down a path that was one of the most fulfilling paths of my entire life, which is being a personal trainer. And I had an amazing, fulfilling career as a personal trainer, and it still always calls to me. It still is always a part of me, physical fitness and teaching people. Even to the point now when I'm at the gym, I always get strangers asking me, hey man, I'm doing the same thing, but it doesn't seem to look the same, right? What do you think I should do? So that gift is so fulfilling for me. I love helping people work out, figure out how to use their bodies, figure out how to move properly, workout programs, understanding their own health and well-being from a mental, physical, and emotional standpoint, teaching them nutrition, that it's a lot more simple, that you don't need all these crazy supplements or pills and things like this. So that was one of my gifts, and I really sat and had to think about what's something I've always been good at that I enjoy doing, physical fitness. So that's how I discovered one of my gifts. The other gift I've recently and always known, and this is also a clue for you for your divine gift as well. You've probably always gotten positive feedback in random ways, and it's been kind of weird to you at times, but those are clues to your divine gift. Another one of my divine gifts is speaking. I have a very strong and deep voice. I was that kid that was always like 3, 4, 5 years old, articulating myself as if I was an adult. When I did do public speaking in high school to run for like class vice president or whatever, it felt so natural for me to get in front of hundreds and hundreds of students and faculty. And I just got up there and I didn't write anything out and I was just talking. I ended up winning. It just felt so pleasurable to me. I really enjoyed it and it felt natural, and I had never done any speaking engagements, but I don't have a fear of public speaking. I loved getting up in front of the class and sharing. When we would read excerpts from books, I would always volunteer to read. And I've gotten other little clues. I've waited tables for a long time at many different restaurants, really nice places, and I currently do that for a living as my day job right now. And I'll get these things that people will say to me. I'm just going up to them, telling them about the menu, etc. And I even got it the other night, and I've got it many other times. And this guy, he's like, I'm in marketing and sales, and I can always tell when someone has a great voice. And when I went up there, and he's like, do you do any voice acting or voiceovers? And I was like, no, but I've actually gotten that a lot. When I was a kid and 19 years old, when I was first bussing tables, when I was, working at a restaurant, right, to make money on the side while I'm going to college, I remember there was a guy who he was a local news anchor, and I was bussing his table, or can't remember, taking food to his table, and I had said something. I was like, hey, here's the whatever, beef carpaccio, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, wow. He's like, you have an amazing voice. He's like, you need to get into voice acting. He's like, I'm one of the local news anchors here. He's like, I can set you up. I didn't take that career path because I was getting into the fitness stuff. But anyways, I have gotten so many indicators that I need to be doing something with speaking. And I've had many, many other weird instances when it comes to my voice or speaking. And I'll save those stories for another time, but really weird stuff about like random messages from people that almost kind of sound crazy, but that I know it's my purpose. So I know that part of my journey is to use my voice as a public speaker in order to instill positivity and good in the world, help retune people's belief systems. So those are a couple personal examples for me. And I don't, of course, share those to talk about myself. I share those as illustrations as to the principles sharing with you and indicators on how I've discovered my gifts and how I am to utilize them. And how it's all going to manifest in the end, I really don't know. But I do know that recently through reflection, and if you're new to my channel, if you're watch my videos, thank you so much. I appreciate the continued support. You know that I talk about meditation and reflection a lot, which recently I've spent a ton of extra time doing to get in touch with my higher self in order to glean what my divine gifts are and what the next steps upon my personal path are. And this is what's come to me lately. And I know that me speaking on YouTube, me doing public speaking, things like this is part of my gift, guided meditations, using the tone and my ability to articulate myself in a clear and concise manner, and also distill emotions and feelings into words is part of my path and purpose. And it's become from silence and meditation, self-reflection, that this is my gift. So you have divine gifts. You have something like that for yourself. It might be speaking. It might be something that has to do with the natural world, which is gardening, or maybe you're supposed to be a wildlife expert or a veterinarian because you love animals. Maybe you are incredibly gifted at mathematics and you have always been great at mathematics. Well, what careers are going to be fulfilling? Do you want to just be a teacher and teach mathematics? That's a great profession. Whatever it is, as long as you're using your gift and your skills, the fulfillment will come. The money will come. It's up to you to divine what these gifts are within yourself and begin to utilize them in a way that serves others. And in turn, you will prosper. You'll become fulfilled. You'll be filled with a sense of purpose. This is what you have got to do. Maybe you're musically inclined. Maybe you've always, we all love listening to music, but you've always had an interest in learning an instrument. Maybe you're supposed to be a musician, and it is never too late. Maybe you won't be the biggest pop star in the world, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you start using whatever gift it is you have outside of whatever your day job and daily responsibilities are to simply bring you personal fulfillment. If that is something that really is meant for you that you're supposed to give, it will start to expand. You'll start to have opportunities. You'll feel another sense of motivation. You'll feel another sense of empowerment. You'll feel another sense of inspiration to begin to pursue and develop this gift and share it with the world in whatever way you are supposed to do it. Maybe you're incredible with kids. Maybe you're supposed to start a whole new type of daycare for kids in order to enrich them in a way that you always felt was missing in the current system. There's infinite possibilities, and you are a unique soul with a unique divine purpose sent here in order to better the world in a particular way. And you bettering the world in a particular way is linked to your abundance, your financial freedom, your sense of purpose and fulfillment. So take some time to reflect on your life. What have you always been naturally good at? Have you naturally enjoyed? What have you always been great at? What is something that you've always really liked or have had an interest in? It also may be something that's completely undiscovered, but you have an inkling to try this thing out. You've always wanted to be a music producer. Maybe you should take a music producing class, go on Udemy or one of these other many online learning platforms and just go and spend $10 and start getting into it and see if this material interests you. You are keenly interested in certain subjects. Maybe it's baking. Maybe you have fond memories of baking with your grandma or your grandpa or whoever, an aunt and uncle, and you've always really loved doing that. Maybe you're supposed to be a baker. And you may say, well, there's no way I could do that for a living. I mean, there are millions of people doing cooking books on YouTube, with a certain type of this is Dutch oven cooking for people, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you do a YouTube channel and it blows up and you make a cookbook and now you just do what you love based on something you used to do with your grandma. and you made a cookbook and a successful YouTube channel and you feel super fulfilled and have all this extra money you never thought you had. The possibilities are endless. And that's the other part of it. Take away all the limiting beliefs and say, well, I can't do that because I got this, I got this, I got that. I can't do that because blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. Do something you enjoy and let it organically grow, and let your guides, let the universe reveal to you your path. But it will take some reflection. It will take some meditation, some time in silence and solitude to really track in on that gift. And well, here's the thing. For me, it hit like a strike of lightning. I really put a lot of focused intention and time in reflection to really say, universe, show me, what am I supposed to do? Well, I'm unfulfilled right now. What am I supposed to do? And it did hit me like a strike of lightning, because I started to look and I was like, gosh, what is it? Okay. And then I would take time to detach from it, let the visions, the signs, the messages come to me. It will take some time, but you may already know it just by watching this video. You may go, I already know. I know what Pierce is talking about. I know what it is for me. And then now your thing is to write out a plan, or at least the first step, and to begin to explore this gift. So that's step one. Or you can go in and say, okay, what would be the end goal? What would I love my life to look like, harnessing my gift and sharing it with the world? What's that end vision? What would my day be like? How much money would I be making? Who would I be working with? What are the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis? Put it together step by step, but first, spend time really honing in on your gift. And like I said, for me, it hit like a strike of lightning. I knew exactly, I was like, yep, I'm supposed to do this, fitness, boom, done. We're going for it. I laid out a plan. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get into fitness. Well, what's the end goal here? You know, it'd be really cool if I was a personal trainer to professional athletes in the off season. So I set along that path, and I started with the end in mind, said, I'm gonna be the personal trainer to all these professional athletes, to a professional sports team or a major college sports team. So where do I start? How do I look backwards? Or how do I work backwards? What's the education I need to get? And it all just fell into place. I got this really prestigious personal training certification called CSCS, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, which you have to have if you want to. You have to have a bachelor's degree to sit for the exam, and it's all the professional trainers for sports teams. So I did all my research. I did my work. I said, well, I need personal training experience. I went and worked at a big box public gym to get some experience because I've never trained anyone, and everything fell into place. Within 6 months, one of my buddies I grew up with was the assistant athletic director for the University of Southern California, USC, which is obviously a huge athletic school. And he got me an internship there as a strength and conditioning coach. It all just fell into place. Now, my path is meant to be something different now, and there's a whole nother part of that story as to why I didn't realize that goal, but I was fast tracking to it, and but everything that happened set me on the course that I'm supposed to be on, which is the course I'm on now, which is why I'm speaking to you. So identify your gifts. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be fulfilled, abundant, wealthy beyond your belief, and live a life of freedom and true purpose and fulfillment. And the key to creating that life for yourself is tied to your divine gift. So tune in to what your divine gift or divine gifts are, and begin to just sit with it, marinate with it. Let it come to you. Let the signs, let the visions, let the messages come to you. Spend time in reflection, spend time in meditation, create clarity and a practical game plan as to how you can begin to manifest and harness your divine gift in order to create this life of purpose and fulfillment and blessings that you desire. That's what I have for you today, guys. Please let me know in the comments, what is your divine gift? Let me know if you have questions on what you need to do in order to uncover your divine gift. Please ask me. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing this. Let's discover your divine gift together and begin to create clarity on how you harness it in order to create a life of purpose and fulfillment and happiness in your life. I love you guys so much, and that's what I have for you today. I'll see you very soon in another video. Peace.